The key to success is to start before you are ready. With these words, welcome you all to ABS Creations Bioeducationalist Chandrakala. What holds you back is not what you are, it's what you think you aren't. If you have not subscribed the channel, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to receive the notification. In this session, we are going to deal with the concept of manufacturing industries part 1 under CBSE grade 10. So in this video, let us discuss about the most important concepts of manufacturing and its importance, how agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other, contribution of industry to the national economy of a country, factors for the industrial location. Now, you can see a picture of cotton, yarn, dress, wood pulp and paper. What are all these? You can see that cotton has been converted into yarn, yarn has been converted into a dress, wood pulp has been converted into a paper. What is cotton and wood pulp? So cotton and wood pulp are raw materials. What do you mean by raw material? Raw material is nothing but a basic material from where the final product is obtained. So you can see the example of cotton. Cotton has been converted into a yarn, that is thread. Yarn in turn is converted into a dress. So dress is having a more valuable and it is usable one. Whereas wood pulp is a raw material which has been converted into a paper. Okay, what activity takes place here? The activity is that processing of conversion of raw material into a finished product, that is manufacturing activity. So what is manufacturing? A manufacturing is nothing but an activity which is concerned with processing of certain basic raw material into finished products. What is manufacturing industries? So manufacturing industries is nothing but where the processing of conversion of raw material into a finished product with the help of machineries takes place. With the help of mechanical power and machineries. So that is what we used to say it as a manufacturing industries. So in the previous slide, we have seen the example of cotton and wood pulp which has been converted into a dress and a paper. So the raw material cotton and wood pulp cannot be used by the people in the form in which they occur. They have to be processed to make them usable one. So what is that usable one here in the example we have seen? That is a dress and a paper. So in the past, processing of various raw materials into finished products was done in individual households. Hand spinning of yarn from cotton and handloom weaving is an household activity even today. But nowadays, industries process raw materials on large scale using mechanical power and machinery. So in such cases, we can say that manufacturing industries have become indispensable for our modern way of life. So the status of our country is measured in terms of industrial capacity. It is not only India, the status of a country, of any countries in the world, different countries of the world is measured in terms of industrial capacity. Now let us discuss about how manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular. So there are a variety of reasons behind it why manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular. Okay, we'll move on with the first reason. So manufacturing supports agricultural activities. So basically, India is an agricultural country and more number of people have been engaged in agriculture. And as agriculture supports raw materials for various industries and provides food for the entire population, agriculture was considered as the backbone of our economy even now. So previously in India, a traditional method of farming has been carried out in agriculture activities. But now, after the industrial development, the industries have supported agriculture in modernizing it. When industries started supporting agricultural activities. It also helps in reducing the dependence of people on agriculture income by providing secondary and the tertiary sectors. So previously, more number of laborers have been engaged in agricultural activities when traditional method of farming has been carried out. But after the industrial development, when modernization took place in agriculture, more number of farmers or more number of laborers have been replaced by machineries. So in such cases, more number of people have been engaged in agricultural activities than required. Disguised unemployment arose. So when the industry development took place, it also helps in reducing the people depending on agriculture activities by providing them jobs in tertiary and the secondary sectors. So in such cases, we can say that manufacturing acts as a backbone of development in general and even economic development in particular. The second reason is that when the industries have been developed, so it helps in the eradication of poverty and unemployment. So the eradication of poverty and unemployment is one of the main aim of public and the joint sector ventures in India. It also helps the tribal and the backward area people to come up in economical level. So how it is possible for them? That is setting up of industries even in the tribal and the backward areas, which helps them to increase in the economical condition, at the same time bring down regional disparities. So industrial development helps in the eradication of poverty and unemployment, and even in bringing down the regional disparities by establishing the industries even in the tribal and the backward areas. The another reason is that when the manufacturing sector takes place, so production will be more. So it helps in the export of manufacturing goods. So export of manufactured goods also expands trade and commerce worldwide. So when the expansion of trade, with the help of expansion of trade and commerce, automatically it earns a valuable foreign exchange. Another reason may be that the countries that transform their raw material into the finished products of higher value, they become prosperous. When a country is using only the raw material, the economical status of that particular country will be less. But when the same country, when it converts its raw material and it exports its finished product to the other countries, it earns a valuable foreign exchange. So the economical status of the country may be increased. So for example, you can see wheat is a raw material. When it is converted, wheat has a certain value. But when it is converted into a biscuit, it has more value. For example, bauxite is another example raw material where aluminum has been extracted and made into a finished product. So the finished products has more value than the raw material. So when a country converts the raw material into a finished products, it leads into a prosperous nature. That is what the economic strength of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. The economic strength of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing countries. So in such cases, so we say that manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular. What may be the reason behind it? It not only helps in modernizing agriculture, but also it generates employment for the people who are depending on agriculture in secondary and tertiary sectors. The second one is what? The industrial development helps in reducing the poverty and unemployment, or eradicating the poverty and unemployment, and bringing down the regional disparities by establishing the industries even in the tribal and the backward areas. And the manufactured goods, when it is exported, it leads to expansion of trade and commerce worldwide and earns a valuable foreign exchange. And when a country transforms a raw material into a finished product, it earns a lot of valuable exchange. So all these reasons states that manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular. As we know that industry supports agriculture in modernizing it, so both agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. Both agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. How is it so? Agro-based industries. So industries, they depend upon agriculture. Industries, they depend upon agriculture for their raw material. So those industries, we can say it as an agro-based industries. The industries which depend upon agriculture for their raw material, those industries, they come under agro-based industries. So when industries depend upon agriculture, it helps the agriculture in raising productivity. It helps the agriculture in raising productivity. Even agriculture depends upon the industries. How agriculture depends upon industries? When it started modernizing, when it started implementing using modern methods of technology in agriculture activities, it is in need of modern tools, it needs of chemical fertilizers, insecticides, it is in need of irrigation pumps, it is in need of plastics, PVC pipes, machineries, tools, etc. So the industry sells all these products to agriculture. So both agriculture and industry, they are dependent upon each other. They are dependent upon each other and they move hand in hand. So when both of them are depending upon each other, so development and competitiveness of manufacturing industry, it has not only assisted agricultures in increasing the production, but also made the production process very efficient. So what is that? When both agriculture and industry, they move hand in hand, development and competitiveness of manufacturing industry, it has not only assisted agriculturists in increasing the production, but also made the production process very efficient. So that is what we used to say, that agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other, they move hand in hand. Now let us see how this industrial sector has contributed to the national economy of our country. So example, over the last 2 decades, it is understood that the manufacturing sector has stagnated around 17%. The contribution towards the GDP of a country from the manufacturing sector is just 17% out of 27%, and the remaining 10% is from mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. So the contribution of the industrial sector towards the GDP of a country is around 17% out of 27%, and the remaining 10% is from the mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. When we compare our industrial contribution towards the GDP with the East Asian economies, it is clearly seen that the GDP of the East Asian economies from the industrial sector is around 25% to 35%. So over the last decade, the growth rate of manufacturing sector in the East Asian economies has been increased around 7% per annum, and the desired growth rate over the next decade may be around 12%. So since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. So how is it so means? With the help of NMCC. What is it? NMCC is that the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council. National Manufacturing Competitive Council. So why this council has been set up means the main objective of this council is that improving productivity through proper policy interventions by the government and the renewed efforts taken by the industry. The main objective of the National Manufacturing Competitive Council is that improving the productivity through proper policy interventions by the government and renewed efforts by the industries. So this is what we can say it as contribution of industry to national economy. Now we'll see the last concept under the session. The factors which influence the location of industries. Okay, just think whether all the industries can be located everywhere. It is not so. All the industries cannot be located everywhere. The reason behind is that certain advantages for the location of some industries may be found only at certain place. So it depends upon certain factors. Raw material, power, labor, capital, transport, market. These are the major factors on which the location of an industry depends. Raw material, power, labor, capital, transport and market. So these are the main factors on which the location of an industry depends. Apart from these factors, certain factors such as cost of land, building, machinery, availability of water, historic, economic and political factors, they also have a part to play in the setting up of industries. So just we'll go with the concepts of all these. Raw material. When we talk about raw material, so we know that raw material is nothing but a basic material from where the product has been manufactured. So raw material is one of the most important factor for the location of industry. So for example, if the raw material used are bulky or perishable. If the raw material is bulky, transportation over longer distances may become very expensive. For example, iron and steel industries. They are located near centers of iron ore mining or near coal fields, as both these raw materials are a bulky raw material. For example, in the case of raw material, when it is perishable, sugarcane, take example of sugarcane. It is a weight losing raw material. So where the sugar industry has to be located means it has to be located near the raw material oriented area. The reason behind it is within 24 hours it has to be crushed. Immediately after the harvest of sugarcane, within 24 hours it has to be crushed. Else the sucrose content of the sugarcane will be reduced. So this is what raw material play a very important role for the location of industry. The next one is power of fuel. So power of fuel becomes an important factor in the case of some industries which consume a lot of power of fuel. For example, smelting of aluminium. Smelting of aluminium requires a large quantity of electricity. Labor. Though labor refers to skilled and unskilled labor, it is also a factor which is especially for industries which require skilled labor. For example, diamond cutting and polishing. Diamond cutting and polishing is located at Surat and Tiruchirappalli. Why most of the diamond cutting and polishing is located at Surat and Tiruchirappalli is that availability of skilled labor. Because of what? Availability of skilled labor. Market. The next factor is market. Market is a factor in the case of consumer goods. Purchasing capacity, people's demand, and the ability to earn determine the development of market. Purchasing capacity, people's demand, and the ability to earn determine the development of market. The next factor is transport. So transport is very essential for transporting the raw materials to the factory site and the finished products to the market. So since cost of transport and time taken to transport have to be taken into account, cost of transport and time taken to transport have to be taken into account, generally places of convergence of roads and railway lines are considered as the best places for location of industries. Capital. Capital is necessary for any industry to be set up. Capital is required for buying raw material, the land to set up the industries, and similar other requirements. So these are the various factors, the main important factors on which the location of an industry depends. That is raw material, power, transport, labor, capital, market. So these are the various factors which influence the location of industries. So when the industries have been developed in one particular area, automatically it leads to urbanization. It leads to what? Urbanization. When an industrial development takes place, automatically that leads to an urbanization. Urbanization is nothing but migration of population from the rural area to the urban area in search of better amenities of life. So both industries and urbanization, they go hand in hand. When we see something, when we talk about cities here, the cities provide market, transport, banking, insurance, consultants and financial advisors to the industry. So automatically, when the industries develop, it leads to urbanization. So both industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. So many industries, when the urbanization takes place and when the industries develop, so many industries, they tend to come together to make use of advantages offered by the urban sectors. So when many industries, when they join together or when they come together to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers, that economy came to be called as what? Agglomeration economies. We used to say it as what economy? Agglomeration economy. Now you can see the flow chart here, the input. So for the location of industries, the factors for the location of industries is that input, raw material, or the component parts. So what are the factors of production is that land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, infrastructure. So from the land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, infrastructure, what is the most important? Transportation facility. To draw the raw material from the raw material oriented area to the factory area. From the factory area, the finished products, that is outputs, has been transported to the market area. For everything what is required, capital is required, that is money. So that is what industry and market has been linked. So industry market linkage. So the key to decision of the factory location is the least cost. So as I already told you, apart from the main factors like raw materials, power, labor, capital, transport and market, certain other factors are there, such as cost of land, building machinery, availability of water, historic, economic and political factors. They also help in setting up of industries. Here the main ideal location of industry, so that is cost of obtaining raw materials at site, cost of distribution of products, that it depends upon the market factor, decision to locate factory at site, land, it depends upon the land factor, cost of production at site, so that is land. Factors of production is what? That land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, infrastructure. So the ideal location of industry, it depends upon cost of obtaining raw materials at site, cost of distribution of production, decision to locate factory at site and cost of production at site. So these are the factors which influence the location of industries. So what is agglomeration economy? Agglomeration economy is nothing but most of the industries, they tend to come together to make use of the advantages which has been offered by the urban centers, and that we say it as agglomeration economy. Mostly large industrial agglomeration takes place depending upon what? Depending upon the industry market linkage. I think you have understood this concept. You can go through the concepts and test yourself, like define manufacturing. Manufacturing sector is considered the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular. Justify the statement. Agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. Justify. Explain the contribution of manufacturing industry to the GDP of the nation. Define agglomeration economies. How does industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand? In the next video, we will discuss about the classification of industries. If you like this video, you can like it, you can share it, you can comment it. Thank you.